Hi friends, welcome back to my Cozy Crafty Cabin. So it is day 17 of my Christmas in July Crafty series, and we're going to be using our scraps from day 16's project where we made those 4.5 by 4.5 cards and envelopes. So I have those like skinny scraps from the top of the papers. I have these small scraps that are 4.5 by 3 inches, and I have these larger scraps that are 7.5 by 4.5 inches. So we're going to be making some scrap cards. So let's get started. So for our project today, we're going to use those two larger scraps that I just showed you. Here's my just A2 size card base for my stash that I'll be using, and then a stamp sentiment that I already made. So you're going to make two cuts on this larger scrap. So right, the one that's 7.5 by 4.5 inches. Now I'll be cutting mine down to 5 inches by 4 inches. You may want to cut yours down to 5 1/4, like the standard mat for an A2 size card base. I'm doing 5 inches just because I have that little bit of a border already, that green border around my cards. So that's why I'm cutting it down to 5. And then you're going to be left with this scrap that we're going to save, and that's going to be tomorrow's project. And then you're going to rotate it and cut it down at 4. So you'll have a 5 by 4 piece and then this little strip at the bottom that we'll also use. And then that second scrap that's 4.5 by 3 inches, we're going to leave as is. And then yeah, save the scrap, right? So once you cut down all of your larger scraps, you'll be left with those final scraps. So yeah, and we're simply just going to layer these on our A2 card base. So the larger one, the smaller one, and then our sentiment. And super simple, super easy, right? And then that small scrap, we're just going to put inside the bottom of our card. Okay, so here is the set of cards I was able to make with our scraps. First, I'm just showing you the stamp set I use for my sentiments. I was trying to find the name of the set, but I didn't see it anywhere on the packaging. But it came from Hero Arts. I honestly don't remember where I purchased this. I'm sorry, but I use the May Your Christmas Be Cozy, Warm and Bright, and the Wishing You the Joy of the Season sentiments from that. But yeah, so we were able to make 8 cards with our scraps. So using we had a set of 8 of the large scraps and a set of 8 of the smaller scraps. And yeah, I thought these turned out really cute, actually. Yeah, I hope you guys have been enjoying my Christmas in July crafty series. And tomorrow we're gonna use the final scraps that we have left from our 12 by 12 sheets when we started with day 16. So yeah, these scraps, which measure about 2.5 inches by 4.5 inches. One of them I think is a little bit smaller because I made a mistake and cut it wrong. But yeah, we have 8 of these scraps, and that's going to be tomorrow's project. All right, bye.